Yeah. Yeah. You can have water, and then there's also champagne. Yeah, and then all of these liquids are for you. Yeah.
I like this. How are you?
Good. So, good. There was no fangers back here. No fangers.
I trust. I appreciate that you would follow those directions.
Yes.
Yeah. I asked me if I wanted to be interviewed in character, and I was like, no. They got it. She has a very simple point of view. So yeah. So how are you guys doing?
We're doing great. We're so glad to have you here. Tell me a little bit about the inspiration for the No Fanger.
Well, in the 8th grade, I went to Williamsburg, Virginia, and Rachel Talbert. Hi, videotape. She's married to Rachel. She's lovely.
Shout out to Rachel's children.
She got fingered.
Wow.
By her boyfriend. It was romantic, consensual. And they're gonna talk about it, and it was like dominoes. Like once Rachel got fingered, all of our friends got fingered. Erica McKnight got fingered. Like, it's true.
Even Erica McKnight.
Yeah, Erica McKnight, who like previously no one suspected, but she straight up got fingered in the back of the National Maritime Museum.
Was all fangering like field trip related? Like
Yeah, it was all on this trip.
same trip.
It was one weekend.
A weekend to remember.
It was certainly a weekend. I mean, I remembered it. I'm 32 years old. Who got fingered, when, and by whom? But also, this is sort of like sexist, I think, but I remember the girls who got fingered far more than the boys that
Well,
did
the boys were just fingers to you. It is sexist.
When we look back in history, let us remember the woman that got fingered, not the fingers that did.
Exactly. That's true. And maybe that isn't sexist. Maybe that's a good thing.
Yeah,
So,
I think it's feminist.
yeah.
I've never heard anything more funny.
I didn't get fingered on that trip. But you know, I feel like that was always happening. Like if the bus was on a trip or something, like I was an Odyssey of the Mind. We would go. We were world champs.
Oh wow.
I know, right? But like anytime you got on a bus for a long trip, somebody was gonna get fingered.
This is not surprisingly the way my women's lacrosse team bus rides went.
I mean,
Surprisingly.
that about masturbation. That's very funny. I learned to masturbate. By the way, like learning in college, I learned without like knowing what it was by scooting my little body along the floor during the Monkeys reruns.
That's so vintage.
It is.
That's the most vintage masturbation strategy.
Very young.
Which one of the monkeys do you think did it for you?
Davy Jones.
Like doing a comeback? Did someone?
Yeah, Davy's dead.
Very dead.
Yeah,
Or someone else.
we went to go see him, but I didn't have those feelings.
Can I tell you something embarrassing about myself? And it's more embarrassing than telling you about my first masturbation. I had a crush on Mickey in the Monkeys.
Yeah.
Who is the drummer, I think? And universally thought of as the ugly one, I heard.
Okay.
No, you guys love him?
No, I do understand where you're coming from, and I also think like I don't know if this is a self-esteem thing. When I was a little child, like I could shoot for the Davy, but when I was older, when I liked NSYNC, I was interested in Chris Kirkpatrick.
Oh, that's so.
He was the one I thought I could get. So that's like age. Like that's like growing into not feeling good about yourself.
Well, for me, Lance was the one that I
Tells you so much.
tells you everything about my dating history.
I love that song.
The first two concerts I went to were NSYNC. And one of them I had good seats for. I was like 9 or something. And they were like on this weird like elevated thing where they were like floating.
Fuck yeah, they were.
Whatever, budget. And so like at some point I was like, oh my God, Lance looked at me. He gazed into my eyes. And I was like, we had a connection. And then I later went on to like fall in love with my friend who would later come out to me. So like it was just like
It's just setting you up.
Yeah.
My friend Eric, who hadn't come out yet, went with us to see NSYNC, And as that floating thing came by, Eric was very tall. He was a big, tall boy. And he reached up and he grabbed Lance's shoe, and Lance kicked him off. So they also had
Lance was like, I'm not ready yet. Come for you later. After that whole, like, I'm gonna be an astronaut thing.
Yeah, it couldn't happen for them.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
I'm so happy to do this. This is such a fun show, you guys.
Thank you so much. We're so happy to have you.
Aw, you're a cool person.
Guys, this is the perfect moment for a Galentine thing. Is everyone enjoying how perfect it is?
Phrases that happen in Fran were saying, like, it's fun and easy, it's fun and easy, and I want to be like, you're funny.
I am. That both are true.
Just how I like my friends. My friends.
I love that. Enjoy one of these cookies.
Yes, please do.
Because no one else is.
They are shit.
I don't know.
Well, I think you bought them because if you look at the label, it says Murray on it, and I'm like, you just looked for whatever.
I just looked for things that remind me of me, and
That's great.
and so I grabbed it. You know, that's why I got the roses, because they're like,
Oh.
beautiful.
I know this is weird.
Dying.
We do accept roses for both you and your husband.
That's so sweet.
They are.
I told you you should get flowers, Jason. Flowers, but this is the reason why. This is very sad.
I'm going to take this opportunity
When he
to
was
give
in,
roses to all of our
That's
guests.
so great.
Because
when he was in high
we need to
school,
get these away. Oh, I feel bad. You don't want this.
you gotta let
You
her
don't
go.
want this.
He's going for something right now. He's making those roses move.
I am pushing these like it's a Black Friday. And
You're like a used car salesman on Adderall, and
give it to your fiance.
he's got some child payments to do. Before we go, tell us why the sad story why your husband doesn't give you flowers.
Because when he was in high school, he gave flowers to his girlfriend, and his girlfriend was so embarrassed that she threw the whole thing at him. So he's like traumatized.
Name her!
I'm not gonna name.